Good afternoon and happy Saturday, everybody. My name is Mr. G. I'm your meteorologist, and you are watching Elite Weather Forecasting. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a great weekend out there, and your Saturday is going great. And we're going to be talking about the weather forecast for your Saturday evening, tomorrow, and the week ahead. We're going to let you know what to expect out there across America as you go do what you got to do for the week, okay? Our city of the day is Kansas City, Missouri, where you're sitting under cloudy skies right now. Temperatures is about in the upper 50s to lower 60s, so very comfortable weather conditions as far as the temperature is concerned, but some rain is headed towards your area. You're going to be seeing some showers moving in within the next hour or so. If you're not starting to see them across the southwestern suburbs, you will be seeing them rather soon, so get ready for those rain showers as they move in your area. But you're not going to have to worry about much of that. Generally about a quarter of an inch of rainfall, but no severe weather or thunderstorms is expected. Maybe a clap of thunder or two here and there. The severe weather is going to be mainly confined towards the south, along the Gulf Coast and over East Texas is where we have a marginal risk for some severe thunderstorms this afternoon and this evening. So let's talk about the national radar and take a look at some of our current trouble spots across the country. So now we're going to take a look at our live radar and take a look at some of the trouble spots across the country. And one of the most active locations right now is going to be down here along the Gulf Coast through Louisiana and through parts of West Florida. And we have southern Mississippi and southern Alabama getting in on some of the action as well. We're looking at a lot of rain and thunderstorms down here along the Gulf Coast. Generally about 2 inches of rain is going to be expected along the Gulf here. And we're going to be looking at some isolated tornadoes possible, some damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and small hail. So some hail, winds, and isolated tornado or two. Expect a few water spouts to be possible along the immediate Gulf Coast. If you're in New Orleans or Gulfport, Mississippi, you might see the potential. You might even see some water spouts out over the water there. Remember, those can come on land, and they do become tornadoes once they move onto the shore. So again, and you watch for the same dangers as you would a tornado that forms over land. No difference. Just one formed over the water and moved over land. So still, you want to be cautious and mind your manners and safety and watch out for the dangers, okay? So again, we're going to see a lot of rain today along the Gulf Coast. We're going to be seeing some thunderstorms as well. So let's take a look at the national forecast, take a look at our maps, and talk about what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the country today, tomorrow, and next week. All right, everybody. So as we continue with the weather forecast today, we're going to be talking about our next storm that's going to be affecting the southwestern U.S. and the one across the Gulf state. And we're going to take a look at how it's going for everybody else in between. So let's move on to our first map. And we can see the beginning effects of the next storm that's going to be affecting the state of California. And we're starting to see rain showers there off the coast of LA and Orange County, and then off Point Conception and Santa Barbara as well. We're seeing some rain showers just beginning to move on to Point Conception. So you're probably already seeing some light rain in Santa Barbara. You're going to be seeing some sprinkles and showers soon in Ventura County. You're seeing some there over the Catalina. So the Channel Islands, you're going to be seeing some rainfall. So if you're out over the Catalina, so if you're boating today, you might be doing some ocean fishing out there. You're going to be seeing some rain showers pretty soon. And fairly rough seas is going to be in play as we're going to be seeing those swells out there about 20 feet high. So a very strong storm is headed your way. So get ready for that. So we're going to see marine advisories, small craft advisories there out over the waters off the coast of Southern California. So there is that rain as it makes its approach to Point Conception and the Los Angeles County area. So here's our big storm. We have a double barrel situation where we have an area of low pressure here over off the coast of Southern California And then we have a larger low off the coast of Northern California. This is what's called a double barrel. So we have an area of low pressure here. You can see the little polka dot clouds. That's indicative of cold air, an unstable atmosphere there. So we're going to be seeing thunderstorms with this storm system. And we also have the risk for severe weather from the Bay Area down to Point Conception. So Central California, we can see severe thunderstorms this evening, tonight, and tomorrow again. So we're going to be watching for that along the coast of California with this storm system. And it's going to also bring high winds where we have high wind warnings currently in place for the entire state of California, where we're going to be seeing winds around 50 miles per hour. But in some areas in Northern California, we're going to see those winds push up to 80 miles per hour. So a lot of winds, a lot of heavy rain. And thinking of heavy rain, look how the potential here for flash flooding. An extreme likelihood for flash flooding between Oxnard and to Santa Clarita, the foothills of the Tehachapi Mountains, the Santa Monica Mountains. So we're going to see that all the way over to just about Point Conception. The potential, the likelihood, extreme danger right here. This is danger Will Robinson in this red here. But we're going to be seeing flash flooding and mudslides for sure. So a particularly dangerous situation going to be developing there just northwest of the city of Los Angeles through Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. So definitely going to be having to pay attention to that area. But we do have a very likely scenario of seeing flash flooding throughout the state. So we have a likely flash flooding from Northern California all the way down to San Diego and northwestern Mexico, where we're going to be seeing very heavy rain, lots of mudslides and flash floods like we saw in San Diego about a week ago. We're going to be seeing a repeat, if not more, of that with this storm that's much bigger than that one. It's going to be more widespread and bring much heavier rainfall, where some areas can pick up as much as 10 inches of rain. So lots of rain expected across the state of California. The Golden State is not golden this weekend. So here we are with that severe thunderstorm threat across the state. So we're going to see the potential for severe weather from San Francisco down to about Santa Maria at the Point Conception near Lompoc, where we're going to see the potential. We have a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms, where we're going to be seeing some damaging winds, heavy rain, and some isolated tornadoes is going to be possible with this weather system as it works its way into the state and across the state of California. So here we are as we take a look at what's going to be taking place tonight at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. So we're going to be seeing still the bulk of that moisture is still going to be well out to sea, but we're just going to be starting to see some of the heavier rain moving into Central California and the light rain just beginning to move into Southern California. So we're going to see light showers to begin with in Southern California, picking up intensity through the evening into the overnight hours, where we're going to see rain, heavy at times, some thunder also possible, maybe an isolated tornado, water spouts out over the water, very high seas. So we're going to be seeing that surf out there with breakers coming in 15 feet high or higher. So very high surf. We're going to be seeing 20-foot swells out over the sea. We currently will have a small craft advisory, and there's also high wind warnings across the state of California and gale force winds as well off the coast of California. So here we are as we look at the rain still to come. Now we're going to see a lot of areas picking up 8 or more inches of rain along the coast here. So the coast ranges up to the Bay Area and into northwestern California, but even down into Southern California, down into LA and Orange County, even into San Diego, where we could pick up 5 to 8 inches of rain quite easily through Wednesday of next week. So a very wet into your weekend in California, and through midweek we got 2 storms that we're going to deal with through Wednesday. So get ready for that as we deal with that very heavy rain across the West Coast, as we have that tropical moisture coming all the way from Hawaii and the Central Pacific. So there's a lot to do with that. Okay, so here we are to take a look at that rainfall amounts expected across the Southland. So if you're in SoCal, this is the rainfall expectations that we're going to see Sunday through Wednesday. Up to 5 inches of rain across LA and the Basin. That includes Orange and San Diego counties. But if you're in the foothills, we're looking at up to 10 inches of rain in the foothills and the Southern California mountains. So a lot of rain will fall between now and Wednesday in SoCal, as we have another moist storm system to deal with. The next 2 storms going to really focus in on Central and Southern California with the bulk of that rainfall. Some rainfall is going to fall in Portland and Seattle and Oregon and Washington, but the bulk of the rain is going to focus on California with the next 2 storm systems. Here's a look at the rainfall for San Diego County. So Mission Bay, San Diego, Chula Vista, El Cajon, Del Mar, National City. If you're down here in San Diego, you're going to be looking at generally less rain than LA and Orange County, 2 to 3 inches of rain down to the south near the border. But if you're near the Orange County line up there in Riverside, you're going to be seeing that up to 5 inches of rain here north of El Cajon. So Escondido, Del Mar, Oceanside, you're going to be looking at a good 5 inches of rain. That is a lot of rainfall for a place that some areas down in this region see that much rain a year. So you're going to get that in one shot. So that's a lot of rainfall. So we're almost guaranteed to deal with flooding and flash flooding. Here is a look at the flash flood threat for Southern California for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'm going to stand up here since Tuesday is the weakest of the 3 days. But so Sunday and Monday, very likely scenario here where we're going to see flash flooding. Sunday, we're going to see that very likely there around Santa Barbara and Ventura County, where we're going to see the definite threat of flash flooding. But we're going to see a very likely scenario with flash flooding across the entire Southland, especially Sunday and into Monday. Tuesday, the storm kind of breaks up, becomes more showery than widespread rainfall. So the flash flood threat will diminish as we head into Tuesday, as the bulk of the rainfall shifts eastward across the southwestern deserts and then into the southern plains and towards the Gulf Coast. So here we are as we take a look at the snow that's expected to fall across the Sierra Nevada. So we're going to see that heavy snow where we could pick up 4 to 6 feet of snow in some locations there, like Echo Pass, Donner Pass. We're going to be seeing that potential there for 6 feet of snow in those areas where it's about 7,000 feet in elevation. So travel will become extremely dangerous on Sundays. That heavy wet snow moves into the Sierra Nevada. So get ready for that. So if you have to cross I-80 to get across into Nevada, it's going to be nearly an impossible feat. So I'm definitely pretty much expecting to see the Amtrak that goes across the California Zephyr. May or may not be able to cross. It's going to be an interesting day for sure as we head over the next couple of days as that snow begins to move into that area. So here we are with those winds. We're going to see those 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. This is what we're going to see as of Sunday morning, tomorrow at 2 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to be seeing those 50 mile an hour winds still mostly out to sea, but just beginning to brush the Central California coastline, where we're going to be starting to see those heavier snowfall. The heavier winds began to pick up, where we're going to see those gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So let's move on over to the Gulf Coast right now. Take a look at what we're seeing down here across East Texas. All is clear over Houston, maybe a sprinkle or two, but most of the rainfall is falling over Louisiana. Look at the heavier bands of rain getting ready to move into the New Orleans area right now. So get ready for those heavy rain and those severe thunderstorms as well, as we're seeing a very large area of moderate to heavy rainfall moving along the Gulf Coast across Louisiana and southern Mississippi right now. So our flash flood watch today, our threat is going to be along the Gulf Coast, East Texas, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi. So we're going to see the marginal risk for flash flooding this afternoon, and we have a marginal to slight risk for severe thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast today as well. Our rainfall expectations today, we're going to be looking at, and this is going to be through Monday, 1 to 2 inches of rain generally. Some areas around New Orleans. And then over southeastern, between Charleston and Jacksonville, could pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain as we head into Monday as well. So the bigger severe threat is going to be tomorrow across the state of Florida. A marginal risk north to central Florida, but down here in South Florida is where we have our slight risk, and we're going to see the likelihood of severe thunderstorms there around Miami, Homestead, and Naples and those areas. So if you're over Key West, maybe Key Largo is where we're going to see the better threat for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. So now that we're not talking about severe weather, we're moving on, and we're going to talk about the people that's having great weather. The best weather right now has kind of been taking place across a place you wouldn't expect. The upper Midwest, Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Michigan, the upper Midwest. Really? No snow on the ground. If there is snow, it's very little. Not nearly enough snow. We don't have any snow on the ground here in central Minnesota. There's a little bit in southern Minnesota and a little bit in northern Minnesota. But it's been a very dry winter, very warm, consider what we expect for this time of the year. But 158 million people will be well above average as we head. So that includes Minneapolis, Omaha, St. Louis, Memphis, Chicago, New York, Washington, Boston, Cleveland. So all of the Northeast, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, down through the Mid-South, and even across the Deep South will have temperatures above average. The cold fronts are going to be across the Southwest and on the West Coast. Why? Because of the storms. Clouds and rain is going to make things on the West Coast cooler than average. So lots of clouds, lots of rain. It's going to make it cold on the West Coast. But what we're seeing, nice, benign conditions, going to be fairly warm for this time of the year. And we're going to see those temperatures. We're going to take a closer look at that warm temperatures here. So here's our current upper air pattern right now. This is our storm track. We have that storm coming into the Gulf Coast right now. And we're seeing that rain. We've been seeing that plume of rain from the Gulf Coast and then head back northwestward across the central to the northern plains. Remember, on our last, when we looked at the radar, you saw the rain right up through here. Well, this is why. We have a strong jet stream that's got a big buckle. So we have a nice omega block in the jet stream, and that's got that warm air really pulled up way up into Canada, into near the Arctic Circle. So that warmer than average air is moving way up across the Canadian border, but we're seeing that colder air coming in across the Rockies and from the west and along. This is the subtropical jet stream. Here is the subpolar jet stream. So we have a wide distance in the jet stream. They're not kind of running parallel except here on the west coast. So we're seeing those storms coming in fairly quickly, moving through fairly quickly, but things will kind of get buckled up right in this region here. So here we are where it's feeling more like what? So Fargo, Omaha, Duluth, Minnesota, Des Moines, Iowa. These are the highs for today. 46 in Fargo, 49 in Omaha, 35 in Duluth, and 43 in Des Moines. Now, these are the days where those temperatures are the average temperature. March, see, 35, March 15. That's the average temperature for Duluth, Minnesota. Omaha's average temperature is 49 on March 13. April 7th is 46 for Fargo, North Dakota. So, seeing that we're seeing those temperatures now, we are well above average. The average for most of these places right now are still in the 20s, with the exception of Des Moines, where the averages should be in the mid-30s, and the same thing for Omaha, Nebraska. So here are our forecast highs today, where we're going to be seeing those 70s down along the Gulf Coast through Texas, but we're going to be seeing a lot of 60s across the Mid-South, 50s, 40s, and 50s across the upper Midwest. Still a little bit cold here across New England, where we have a northwesterly flow on the backside of a departing storm system. So it's still a little touch of cold air in New England up there, like over Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York. But it's fairly nice along the I-95 corridor, where we're seeing those temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So nice and mild weather for this time of the year across that region. Now here's our forecast highs for Sunday across the Midwest. Where we're really seeing that warmer weather is across the Midwest. And we're going to be seeing it nearly 50 in Minneapolis, 40 in Chicago, and we're going to see it 52 in Pittsburgh, 57 in Lexington, Kentucky. St. Louis is going to have a high of 55, 52 down there in Memphis. Oklahoma is going to be 52, Oklahoma City. Wichita, 47. North Platte, Nebraska, it's going to see a high of 46 degrees. So a lot of you folks are sitting pretty through the Midwest. Very warm, little to no snow on the ground. So that's going to continue. So enjoy that. And this is what we're going to be seeing across the Midwest on Monday. 48 degrees in Minneapolis on Monday. 39 in Chicago. A little bit chilly, but okay. Compared to what you could be, not bad. It's okay. 49 up here in Bismarck. Sioux City, 48. Kansas City, 55. 52 in St. Louis. Columbus is 47. 37 in Buffalo. A little bit chilly in Buffalo because the Northeast still hasn't tapped into that warmth yet. But you will. Just give it a day or two. It'll make its way up there. Here is our temperature outlook from 210 through the 16th. So February 10th through February 16th, we're going to be well above average here across the upper Midwest. We're going to be looking at highs in the 50s in Minneapolis. So in the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes will be very likely to be above average, but the Southwest will very likely be below average. So a variation of from the below to above, from northwest to the northeast to the southwest. Very cold in the southwest with all that rain they keep having. It just won't stop raining across the southwest. So we've been seeing mostly high pressure across the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest is keeping things warm and dry. But then we've been seeing low pressure down across the west. So the west, the lows have been keeping things stormy and colder. So stormy and colder across the southwest, the west coast, and up to a portion of the Pacific Northwest. We've been seeing a little bit more rainfall, but we're definitely going to be seeing that rainfall down into California and the desert Southwest. So here's a look at some temperatures across some areas across the Midwest. So Minneapolis are forecast highs for the next 7 days. We're going to be seeing a high of 42 today, 47 on Sunday, 48 Monday. But look at those 350s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Mid-50s in early February in Minneapolis. Wow. Just, I mean, I even can't believe this is happening. So even in Milwaukee, it's a little bit chilly to start things off. But it warms up. We see those 50s come in by the end of next week. So by the time we get to next weekend, you'll be in the 40s and lower 50s. And then we're going to see, whoa, really nice temperatures coming in across Kansas City. Almost 70 degrees when we get to Thursday. We're going to be seeing those temperatures jump up into the 60s. We saw the 60s today. We'll see things cooler with rain tomorrow. 56 on Monday, 59 for your Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday, 66 on Thursday. I wouldn't even be surprised if that gets bumped up a few degrees as we get closer. Then 56 on Friday. So still well above average across much, if not all, of the Midwest this winter. So that is a look at your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G with this warmer than average winter and drier than average winter that we're having here across the Midwest. And we're loving every bit of that. And we want that to continue. And according to the forecast models, it sure enough will. So thank you for watching me. Leave your likes, comments, and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on TikTok. And I will see you guys all tomorrow and have a great day. Bye-bye.